Thank you for waiting, ladies and gentlemen. We've invited first class, powered by the executive platinum, emerald, sapphire, and ruby. If those boards are written on your boarding card, please come forward for boarding. And now I'd like to invite group 2, rows 27, 632.
Your zone number has been indicated in the middle bottom portion of your boarding card. Once again, zones E and F, please, at this time.
check. 1, 2. It's going to be a little quieter than normal. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. I know there's no sound effects. I know it's so weird. I know. Just imagine you're hearing all the things. Welcome. Welcome. Tonight is a very different episode of what we do here. We're
just become
well,
best
look at
friends?
Devious.
Yep.
I'll try some noise.
Devious, thank you for the 35 months. Thank you. Plato says, I printed, I'm hearing Mikey. Welcome, everybody. It's different tonight. We're doing a special night. Orbx.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Wow, look at you all go.
Fliggy air.
Look at you all go. Jado, thank you
Did
for
we just
the
become best
28.
friends? Yep.
Bleeman,
Fliggy
thank
evening
you for
one,
the
fliggy evening
27. Thank you all so much for those. Thank you. Oh man, thank you all. So we're doing a we're showcasing a new product. Orbx gave me a pre-release to a it's a bush strip pack that comes with 3 different airstrips, and so I wanted to show that tonight. We don't obviously normally do this kind of thing, but I wanted to. I really wanted to do it as soon as I could, while I could, because sometimes we're just not able to do different things depending on our schedule. So I wanted to show these airstrips tonight because I think they're going to be really good. I'm not familiar with this area, so it's pretty exciting to check out some new things. I'm not sure exactly when this is going to be released. I didn't see any information. My assumption is it will be very soon. But if you're flying tonight with us, because we are flying as a group, if you are flying tonight with us, it'll be interesting to see the difference in what you're flying with and what we're flying with. Good afternoon, Rally Snail. Jado says it's missionary bush pilot territory. Well, I did a little bit of research on it, and obviously the airstrips here are very difficult to fly into. A lot of these airstrips were, they're not flat. They were pretty much carved out of the sides of mountains so airplanes could land. A lot of times people that live here are, very excited about people that are delivering supplies to these very remote areas. This Highlands region of Papua New Guinea ends up, I think it has the highest peak in Indonesia as well. So, I tried to look at some things about it. I'm just not very familiar with the area, so I'm excited to see what the sim shows it as. It was difficult to find these airports anywhere else online. I mean, I could see their, the specific airports, but I couldn't really find any pictures of them. So, I'm very curious how they, created these airports. The guy that created them was Ken Hall. I don't know, what his experience is with flying into these, if ever. I'm not sure. But let me link this. If you want to check out the pack itself, that's a
Did we
link.
just become best friends? Yep.
Fliggy evening one, fliggy evening one, fliggy evening.
Why me? Thank you so much for the 29 months. Thank you. Why me? But if you click on that link, and thank you, Devious, for pinning that. If you click on that link, it will take you to the Orbx site where you can see more details about it. We'll obviously show it in real time here, but you can see some screenshots there. My plan is to fly from AYDN, Alpha Yankee Delta November. That's the first one. And then fly to the final 2 after that. I'm going to do one trip and start at AYDN. And let me switch this. I want you to see what the path is tonight. So if you're flying along with us, essentially the 3 airports are here. This is AYDN. I don't know how to say it. Denangat. Hey, Tyler, what's going on? What we're going to do, because it's a very mountainous region, is we're just going to follow the valley. In fact, this is a little nav map. If I switch this view just to show you, this is kind of how I created this flight plan. Like, you can actually see the valleys a little bit better now with this map. So it gives you an idea of why we did what we did.
We just become best friends. Yep.
I see.
Are you winning yet?
Thank you. I see for the 14 months. Man, thank you. The second location we're going to be going to is this AYYW, Yawan. And I have a feeling that these landings are going to be difficult. The way this one is, where we come around this corner, because the way this cliffside looks, we're not really going to be able to line this up until the end. So that'll be interesting. Then we'll continue on around this path. And the final airport, AYYE, again, the way this slopes down, it probably isn't going to allow, at least the way we're coming in, it doesn't allow that way to land that way. It looks like if you want to land here, it's probably best to do 19 because it's a little bit more empty here. If that's the case, we might have to go around and circle back around this slope and come back to it. We'll make that a game time decision. So yeah, that's the path tonight. I'm gonna kind of base what I do off of that. It's not an IFR flight, but I am going to kind of watch just so I don't get lost. I have not previewed this at all in the sim. The only thing I've done is loaded it up and make sure everything works. That's all I've done. Mr. Mixed T, what's going on? So the first thing I'm going to do is just drone mode around and look at the whole area, just to give you an idea of what this is. The plane that I'm going to be flying tonight is also one that I got from Orbx. I would say over 2.5 years ago. It was one of the first Orbx planes I got, and I really never get a chance to fly it. It's the Jabiru. Is that how you say it? I don't know. And there's a link to it as well if you want to check that out, because this is a plane that we do not fly often. But the speed that this plane flies is about 100 knots, so it might be a hair faster than some of the other bush planes that we've flown. But I wanted to showcase another Orbx product at the same time. I thought that would be a good use for that. So let's get an idea of what we're going to be doing tonight. So first things first, the airstrip, we're going to be taking off from up there, up this slope. When we come down, it is a pretty steep drop-off right after this. You could see how the valley really drops, which is just, I mean, look at this area. Again, this is not a region we have flown in on stream that I can remember. And I'm seeing this, and I'm kind of asking why, because look at this. This is what we're going to be flying through tonight. The reason the flight plan is the way it is because of these valleys. I mean, you can see they're pretty clear. So that's going to be the departure. Now let's get a little bit better look at some of the scenery itself. Now, this airport has one parking spot that you can load in, so you can do a cold and dark startup if you want. I would love to take off and land at this airport, and I might actually do that before we embark on the actual journey, because I want to see what it's like to land on this strip. So what we'll probably do right off the bat is take off, turn right, do a U-turn somewhere in there, come back and do a quick landing, because I just want to get an idea of what this approach feels like. So, you know, I saw some pictures of the region, not the specific airport. I think they did an awesome job on a lot of the buildings here. Let me slow this drone down. Let's see. There we go. You know, the straw roofs look really detailed. I mean, look at that. It looks really good. The first thing when I loaded it earlier without really taking time to look at it was the vegetation. I love the trees. I wish we would see more of these trees in the surrounding areas, but having just a few of them adds so much. And not only that, but even this vegetation here. Like, I don't know if this is vegetation. I'm pretty sure that vegetation is specific to this area because I don't know if I've seen that vegetation in the sim before. But, you know, even the bushes out front, the red color bushes are very cool. That's not stock. Oh yeah, it didn't look stock, but again, this is one of those details that they didn't have to add. But because they did, it adds just a little bit more. Even this here, look at this. Just enough detail to bring you into the area a little bit more. Love the interiors. That's too cool. Too cool. Let's see if we can see some other Easter eggs. There's some even down here, like this, even way back in here. And again, back here, another tree. Very nice. Back here, tin roof. Rusted. Wonder if those clothes are standard in this region. The blue jeans with the pockets turned inside out and the hoodie? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the area. Bray says, we did do a little flying here in June, but now we get to do it with some great scenery. Yes. So I like that they added some back here, because again, this is one of those that, you know, if they didn't put a few of these buildings back here, would people have been upset? Probably not. It just added more to it. Oh, Volanta, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. I like the rocks, the path that they've created here. Smaller rocks, large rocks. I love the foliage. Look, our first person we've seen. Doing some work. Love the design on the house. That looks great there. Let's check out more over here. John, good evening. We have a lawnmower. You know, and again, I don't know the area. I guess these lawnmowers are standard for this area. Like, people use these kinds of mowers. I don't know. I tried to do a little research on the area, and it's tough to research, you know, a remote area like this. Let's go up and check out more on top of the airstrip. The bamboo fence is cool. Same scenery on the clothesline. I do like the fences, and I like that they get taller back here. Like that. You know, again, the trees make it. You know, look at the difference in just these trees, you know, compared to these. It'd be, I know it's a flight sim thing, but it'd be nice if we saw more of these from the sim itself. There are different tree add-on packs, but it's nice to get these with this specific scenery. What's going on, Dave? John says, I was watching a documentary about Papua New Guinea. It's pretty wild there. What did you learn, John? Ooh, I like this one too. These are new. We didn't see these over on the other side. These are a lot brighter. I like the detail on the leaves. Brown on the ends. For me, like, the buildings look great, okay? The buildings look great. But for me, what makes this area is the foliage. The trees, the bushes, the grass, the tall grass that they did. That's what brings it more to life. So very cool. Look, even back here, a little farther back, like if you think you've seen it, there's probably something else to look at back here. Look, continuing back here. Even, look, keep going. More trees there. I like that. Now, we saw one person, and I don't know if that's the only person here, but it's the only person I've seen. And I am very curious as well to see what they did at some of the airports, at least with any of the people. There's also some up here. Boy, this is a very large area. Wow. Very cool. Like, and we'll go up and get a better idea of the entire area. You can see, oh man, is that, oh gosh, more. Boy, they're really hidden, aren't they? Just a little bit scattered around. There was another one that, oh, yeah, right there. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that button. Hold on. Let me go back. I'm glad I actually went up higher because I would have missed some of these. Look, there's more over here. And these are all part of the scenery package because these buildings are not stock. They're not generic buildings in Flight Sim. And then when you get over here, these buildings, those are stock from Flight Sim. So you can see they knew there was something here. Oh, I like the rocks there too from the satellite data. So yeah, there's a lot here. And this is just the first location. I mean, I would say if you want to see it, look at that one down there. Like, they're very scattered around. Very cool. Okay. So, let's get ready to take off. The first destination we're going to is about 20 miles away. I'll show you again. We're just going to follow this valley. But I take that back. I want to take off, circle back, and land here. And if you want to do it, have at it. I'm very curious to see what it's like to land here. So let's do that first. Let's just do a quick takeoff, turn around, and get a feel for what it's like to land here. Let's see. Okay. Devious is going to do this flight in the hot air balloon. By the way, it is tough to get your plane up this slope. So I recommend giving it some gas. Don't be afraid. If you don't have a strong plane, it's going to struggle to get up here. What is... I'm going to have to look and see what that was. Okay. So hold here for a second. I want to just check what that was. What is this blue thing? Where was it? Right here. What's this? Oh, it's just a tree stump. Huh. That's interesting. Interesting. Doss Nerd, what's going on? The sound effects aren't on tonight, Doss, because we're doing an Orbx stream tonight. We're showcasing a new pre-release that they're going to be releasing soon. Hope you're doing well, Doss. Also, I don't have it on live weather because the weather here today is not great. The visibility is pretty bad. I did put it on scattered clouds, so there is that. You can get a sense of the elevation that we're at. Speaking of, we're at 12. Is that 12,500? That's not. Oh, I'm sorry. Looking at the wrong one. 5,250. I was looking at the wrong one. 5,250. So elevation is up. All right, let's just take off, do a quick U-turn, come back, and get a feel for what it's like to land here. And again, the plane that I'm using is that one that I just linked in chat if you want to see what we're doing. Okay, I see Max Roberts in front. Max, are you gonna do a U-turn and land as well? Bray says with the terrain and lack of infrastructure in these rural communities, these grass landing strips are a lifeline and get used for all sorts of cargo, medical services, emergencies, and some passenger services for things like seasonal workers. So there's where we're going to turn around and go back to. So this will be a quick landing here. What's going on, Amplify? Yeah, this is a really nice scenery pack, isn't it? So far, that first airstrip is really cool. What I like about it is the slope of that runway, too. I love the challenging runways. All right, let's see. I just wanted to do a quick turnaround, get a feel for what it's like to just approach here. And Devious is literally in the hot air balloon. Oh, I'm just now noticing with me not having it on live weather, I'm not being influenced by wind really at all. Thank goodness. That's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. Again, you gotta give it some gas. Look at this. If you stop, look. If you stop, it's tough. Like, as you can see. It might be easier to back up and do this. It's tough. Yeah, that's the way to go. All right. So now we have an idea of what's going on. We'll be following this path around, like I said, I think it'll be about 20 miles. Was that you, Calorix? What a cool area. Just so cool. All right, we ready? Here we go. Let's do this first trip. I've not seen the second or third airport at all, airstrip. I've not seen it at all. And so I don't even know what the approach is going to be like. It's just going to be VFR. We'll see it as it happens around the corner, and then brace yourself. Ready? Here we go. I gotta make sure I have enough fuel. I do. All right, let's go. Flaps up. And again, this plane, the Jabiru, I remember, and I don't remember why. I don't know why I ended up getting it, but I got it a couple of years ago. And I wish I would fly it more because I've always liked it. It's just that most of the flights we do are longer distances, and it's a little too slow for some of those distances. I remember liking the texture on the dash. Need more bush action streams? I mean, I'm fine with it. I like them. A lot of what we do for our virtual airline, we don't have, like the company routes we do for the airlines, they're not that. You know, a lot of achievements have some of that, and we've been doing those. But most of the achievements are, you know, at least 80 or 90 miles. So, Devious says the balloon is so much fun here. Is it fun when you are controlling the wind? Are you going faster than me in the balloon? He is. Look, he's back behind me. I don't know why it won't load the balloon. Maybe I don't have it in. I don't think I have the balloon installed since Flight Sim crashed. So I'm just going to follow this ravine to the next airport. I think that's the safest bet. I tell you what, I don't foresee these trips to be very long at all. Have we spotted John in the goose, the juice goose? It is off-road. John, you can make it happen, right? Just over these mountains, spinning, tumbling. It's way too rugged, John says. Can't stay in the river. Slewing. Maybe. What is everyone flying tonight? PC6. AN2. Clorix is doing the NX Cub. I think that's what Jadot is doing as well. Boy, I tell you what, the region itself is nice. Look at the satellite data here. That's really good. You know what, Aaron Priest? I almost flew that. I think that plane is very similar to this one. However, I think I'm using the wooden propeller. I think I am. Max Roberts also in the NX Cup. So, I think we're going to be going around this ridge. That one there. And we'll be flying over in that valley. Now, there is another airstrip over here, but it's not part of this pack. So we'll be flying by it. But it is very close to the one we're going to be landing at. Bit nose heavy when fully fueled. Flip twice when hitting the brakes. Clorix, I feel the same way. Every time I fly it like this, I always enjoy it. But I also do like the airline flying. So, okay, so we're going to follow this ravine, then go around this ridge. And we are, I would say we're now halfway. Quick flight. Scenery looks great. It does amplify. I mean, so that's the thing. Like, the airstrips are one thing, but it also gives you a better reason to fly in this region. Because you could fly in this region, but if the places to land are not ideal, if they're not the greatest in the sim itself, then it makes the region not the best. But if you have great landscape and a great place to fly into, you get both. Incredible Frames is right, Max. Yeah. A great area for frames as well. I tell you what, I don't know what the elevation's going to be like here. So I'm going to start to climb just a little. Not much. Just a little. Just to be safe. John says, I bought the HOTUS 4 in 2022, $70. It's now 90. So, John, did you buy it for 90? Or are you holding off? So the airport, or the airstrip that we're not landing at is right there. So pretty clear area. That is not the one we're flying into. Yeah, I would say you're right, John. There's probably a better deal somewhere. I like this area. This grassy area right here. So we are going to... I'm trying to get an idea of where this next destination is going to be. It's really going to be around... It's going to be on the other side of this ridge. It's pretty close. Looks like the altitude is going to be about 47, and I'm at 43, so I think I'm going to need to get a little bit more altitude. Just a little, not much. It's going to be on the right side of the river. Does this have seasonal trees? No. The pack is just the 3 airports for the most part. It doesn't have anything, as far as I know, in different areas, other than the airstrips themselves. Recent world update really helps with this as well. You know what? I don't think I have the most recent world update for this area. Ever since I had to reinstall the sim, I only reinstalled North America. Look at John. John did it. John is loaded in with the Juice Goose at this airstrip. He's there. In the Goose. He's got no shot. Look at this area. Okay, well, we are getting ready to land, so if you want to do your landing predictions, have at it. We're going to slow down a bit. So it's going to be on the other side of that ridge in front of us. What a cool area. Dang, look at this area. Wow. This one is not easy. Oh my goodness. I don't... Okay, it appears out of nowhere. Oof. I tell you what, if I didn't see your all's names there, I would have struggled. Too high. Oh, man. I came in a little too fast. Thank goodness this is uphill. Oh, thank goodness it's uphill. Oh, man. That's not easy. She likes to spin. That was cool. Who did I just see slewing? I saw somebody slewing. All right, I'm going to do the parking brake. I want to look around again. I want to get a better idea. So this airport, let me link. If you click that link, it'll give you an idea of the 3 airstrips that we're doing. This one is going to be the AYYW, Alpha Yankee Yankee Whiskey, and this is the middle airport, or airstrip, between the two. I'll give you an idea of what we just did. We just flew this path here. It was pretty quick. I mean, really, they're very close to each other. So we just did that, and then the final one is about the same length. So now, let's get an idea. There we go. Let's get an idea of this location. Let me drone up a little bit more. So it looks like, and I didn't see it from the main menu, but it looks like there could be more parking. Maybe. Oh, look at this. They've got some down here too. Hold on, let me go down here. And again, the trees help so much. A couple more down here. You know, they just did a great job of making you want to continue to explore. The way they hide these buildings, that's so cool. Also, if you turn up the ambient sounds, you can hear different wildlife. So, same idea from the first one, the bamboo fences, those brighter trees, the same clotheslines, the red bushes, some more back here. I like the way this is on the edge of this cliff here. Look at that. Dang. Can you imagine that being your view in the morning? Okay, so this is the backside here. Like that's a whole area that's not even at the strip. Your ambient sound is John doing beep beep. Is he honking his Juice Goose horn? So yeah, the buildings the same style as the first location. Trees, they look great. It's a nice little area back here too, a bit more organized. Let me drone up and see if there's anything hiding in the back. Not there. Okay. I will say there are more at the top here. Well, it's interesting to see where you all are with your elevation. All of you all are way up high. So it's interesting how much they've brought the elevation down here for the pack. So, you know, we saw the one lady that was working, or at least it looked like she was, at the first location, but I haven't seen any others. So, again, the trees make it. Look at the trees here. They look great. Hapes, good evening. What's going on? So, okay. So, that's another great one. And I would say it's kind of similar in the sense that it is another uphill, downhill, you know, pretty much a drop off. This one's a little bit more, actually probably a lot more developed than the first location. There's quite a few more buildings here, a little bit more flat land. Well, not necessarily flat, but more cleared out. So yeah, let's, we've already landed here, so we don't need to practice that. So we're going to take off. And when we take off out of here, we're going to do a hard right. We're going to take off here. And then immediately we're going to have to go this way. So hard right out of here. All right, we ready? Bearcat, what's going on? Trace, good evening. We're checking out a new product from Orbx that's going to be released soon. It's in Papua New Guinea. And there we go. And let me link it one more time. If you want to check it out, click that link. You'll see some screenshots. You can get an idea of what's included with it. It's 3 different airstrips. I think it's great. Look at that right there. Just that scenery right there with the trees in the background. I know the plane I'm using is probably not very standard for the area, but I think it works well speed-wise. It might be a little fast for if you wanted to fly this typically, but I think for tonight's purposes, it works great. So here we go. You ready? Let's do it. I'm very thankful that these slopes are uphill because it's kind of tough to gauge the speed as you're coming around that corner. Hard turn here. Hard turn. Okay, flaps up. Man, I tell you what, it's tough to get enough speed and not feel like you're gonna stall. So I'm trying not to climb too quick, but I also need to get more elevation here. Yeah, this is, I tell you what, a little worrisome. Do I have the power here? $60 knots. I need to be at flaps 1. Okay. Just to get a little bit more lift. I've got all the power I can get. You all, I don't know if I can make it in this. I don't think I can. Oh dear. I don't know if it can do it. 55 knots. Oh dear, I hope this clears out at the bottom. I don't know what this is going to be like. Okay, okay. We're okay. Oh my gosh, I've got to get some speed. I'm nosing down a little. And John says you're not the only one struggling. I just don't think I can do this. I can't get any speed. It's gonna stall. I just can't do it. It's gonna stall. Should I try to land? Maybe I'll try to land and then turn around. Oh dear, this is a disaster. Oh dear. This is rough. No, there's no mixture in this plane. Oh gosh. Okay, well, now I have speed. Gosh. It's almost... That's so strange. Hold on, let me try to get some speed. John is literally trying to do this in the Juice Goose. This plane, I How would you do that? I don't know how you would typically do that. I mean, this plane's a strong plane. There's bush planes that can't go 100 knots, but I just could not get any speed. I'm going to turn around. Obviously, I'm going the wrong way. Oh my gosh, this area. Brutal. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that, amplify, and hope it works. That was very sketchy. I probably shouldn't have tried to turn right out of there because there's no opportunity once we took off. There's no opportunity to gain speed. Yeah, I'm sure you're not devious. John is beating me in the Juice Goose. It was pretty tough even in the Kodiak, which has more power. Yeah, this plane does not have a mixture. So I was hoping that would be the difference, but it wasn't. Oh, come on. Okay. All right. Well, that's better. Devi is still using the hot air balloon and beating me. I mean, the area is amazing. Look at this. Look at this area we're flying in. But that's something that if you're going to take off from that second airstrip, if you're flying an aircraft like this, you're probably wise to turn left, get some air or some altitude, and then try again. Yeah, I'm losing speed again. So I'm going to nose down a little. I think it's interesting that we didn't have any issues like this in the first flight, the first trip. What's going on, Low-Tech? How are you doing? We have sound effects off tonight because of what we're showcasing, Low-Tech. How are you? Had to do a bit of terrain escape maneuver. I chickened out and following the valley to the right and went north instead. I mean, the valley is carved out very well for us to make it to that airport, but it was just enough that I just, listen, I will say, based on what it's doing right now, I'm not in the clear. I could easily stall out again. Let me link this plane again. The plane that I'm using is not one that I've used in a long time. That's the one I'm using. I don't think it's a very common plane. I don't see people flying it. I felt like it was really good for tonight's flight, and I still think it is. It was definitely pilot error on not being able to gain altitude. I knew as soon as I turned right out of that airstrip that it was a bad idea because I was losing speed the whole time. What's going on, K-Dub? How are you? Devious says this valley is constantly climbing, unlike the last one. Yes. So we're at 8,400 feet. We've climbed almost 4,000 feet on this flight. So something to consider. So I lowered the mixture and the engine almost cut. I don't know if it's mixture because the engine's not changing. I wonder if it's just a fuel shutoff. We got to get more speed. We're at 65 knots. I mean, if we have to go up over something here soon, I probably won't clear it. I mean, look at this. Devious, are you surviving in the hot air balloon? You at least can gain altitude easier. Oh, no. I'm not going to be able to get out of here, am I? Look at this. Gosh. Oh, man. We've got to get more speed. We're losing it. We're losing speed again. So I'm doing flaps 1. But I'm probably going to stall out again. Flaps 2. Just can't do it. This plane can't do it. Nope. Nope. She can't do it. Oh my gosh. Can't do it. Oh dear, that's the wrong button. You can see my inexperience with slewing. Oh my gosh. Let's try again. That might be better. And once again, Devious is still trying to beat me with the hot air balloon. So I guess this plane just isn't capable of it. It's not strong enough for this. Yeah, I won't be able to climb that right there. So I would say if you're going to fly in this region, you need to fly something stronger. Because it's going to stall again on me. It just can't do it. I mean, we're at 10,800. This plane can't climb like that. Yeah, it's going to stall again. There's flaps for a little lift, hopefully. Flaps 2. I just can't do it. We'll treat that as a landing. And then maybe I can climb over it. I don't think that's the intention. But let's get some speed. John, is this what you're doing with the Juice Goose? Wait, if that's John, I swear. No, it's Dr. No Thumb. This isn't how you're supposed to do it, right? Is that John? God, I wish I could see the goose. No, it's Salty in the Juice Goose. This is sad. I don't Here goes John. I know that's John. This isn't how you're supposed to do it. I can't get any speed. All right, now we can get some speed. Let's go. John, I appreciate that this is a better area for you. Oh, until then. Well, that's not what we were trying to do, but that might be a happy accident. This plane's just not able to do it. Is it possible due to mountain waves? It forms when the wind speed is greater than 25 knots. It creates downward wind gusts similar to ocean waves. Can be problematic. Maybe. Maybe, Icy. All I know is that we are now at 11,000 feet. We have climbed almost 7,000 feet. If I'd known, and that's because I didn't plan ahead, if I'd known that it was a 7,000 foot climb, then I probably would have tried to get more elevation earlier instead of just staying low. I will say, if we had started at this location we're flying to and flown in the opposite direction, it would have been easier. We would not have been climbing the entire time, just constantly descending and gaining speed. So I don't mind being the guinea pig in New Guinea. All right, well, now we have no issues with speed. Man, that is rough. I would recommend if you're going to go east, you have something with power. Well, I have no issues with speed now. We're overspeeding at 140. Looks like we finally lost John and Salty in their Juice Goose. All right, we are going to be landing soon. I think we're only about 4 miles out. Man, really, really tough. Okay, now we said this when we previewed this. This approach is not going to be straight in. We're going to have to get really close to the left side slope and then cut right at the very end. Man, what an area. I can't believe we haven't flown here before. Big tree right before landing. Jado, I wonder if that tree is gone in the scenery. Okay. And this elevation, this airstrip is a lot lower. So that's a cool approach too. I like that. You're gonna have to stay really close. Look how that slope juts out. All right, here we go. I do have some trees here. Trying to stay above it, although Dr. No Thumb has the right idea. that's cool. That is a cool landing. I would say I like that approach best out of the three. I like the others, but the way you come in at the very end on that, and I didn't notice it until I saw Dr. No Thumb kind of coming in from that angle. Let me go over here and show you. If you look, I think there was a line. Let me go up to look at it. So there's a line. I don't know if it was purposeful. You can kind of, I guess it's the way you see these two lines here and kind of following that line in and then angling at the end. There's a lot here. Again, just random buildings like this here. This is part of the pack. That's not generic scenery. More there. And they're pretty far away. Now, that one's generic. Look at this river. Wow. Yeah, all of these here. I'm still curious if they've got any other people. We saw one at the first location, but I haven't seen any others. Man, that's a lot of buildings too. So this one feels more remote, but it also still feels larger. The first one we left from was definitely the smallest location. Okay, I don't think we've seen that bucket before. That's cool. Right there. Look at that. Oh, I like that too. Very open. The rocks are cool. Those are added. Definitely. More trees. Foliage still looks great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one I like the best. I think they're all fairly unique. The first one is a smaller area, but it still has that slope on the mountainside, which is really nice. The middle one that we went to, it was the same type of slope on a mountainside, but it was larger, more buildings. This one's got a whole different feel than the first two because it's a flat airstrip. It's right next to the water, which also they've added some lumber here. This is cool. Look at the detail on that. Huh. Actually, all of this. So, those rocks. This right here. That right there is part of the scenery. You're not going to get that, those jagged edges. You're not going to get that in the sim. So they've added that, which is a lot of detail, isn't it? Like, there's no way that's stock. You all don't have that, do you? You never see anything like that. Because they've purposefully added this whole area with the rocks, the wood, and the larger rocks that jut out. Which, again, just adds so much more to the area. Now you can canoe here. This would be a neat place to canoe in the sim. We do have a canoe. So this location has a lot different feel from the first two. Look, more rocks here that they've added. That's just another detail. Like, seriously, that's another detail. If they didn't put that in there, people wouldn't have even thought about it. Right? You wouldn't see this and go, I don't like it because it doesn't have these rocks. It doesn't have rocks. Nobody thinks about that. But when you see it, it adds so much more to the area. So if I could have just flown it better, it would have been great, but I just didn't have power to do it. That's different. Hold on. What is that? What is that? Oh, lantern. Or, portable, propane tank. You know, it's like something like this. I don't think we've seen this yet. And I wonder, maybe I just missed it, but is that the only time that's being used? There's no way they would only use that once, right? Oh, look at this. This is new. And he's moving. How about that? It's nice. Evening, Dog. John says the details are nice. It really adds to the area. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to fly in this area, it's nice to have it bring you in a little bit more than normal. Also, again, we would not normally fly here. So this would give you a lot more reason, a lot more incentive to come out to this area. How about that? What a great area. I would say of all the locations, I like this one the best. And I would also recommend, you start here and fly west and do it in reverse order, because the elevation makes it really difficult. As you saw, part of that flight, we drove the plane probably a couple of miles on one of those mountains. Thank goodness it was flat. If you start here, we spent the last 4 miles descending to this location, so you would have 4 miles or so to climb and then spend the rest of the flight descending to the second location. So I would recommend you do it backwards. I think it's still really, really well done. So there you have it. That's it. That's the Papua New Guinea Highlands Bush Strip Pack 1. Very cool. I'm not sure when it's going to be released, but if you liked what you saw tonight... Scripted, thanks for the follow. I would say if you liked what you saw tonight, click that link, bookmark it, check it out when it's available. If you do any bush flying, this is elite tier for bush flying area, and then the airstrips they give you. 3 different airstrips is super nice. Having all 3, and they're all close to each other. I would say if I had more time, I would absolutely do this trip again. The opposite direction. I would change planes to just experiment with different planes. Obviously, if I had practiced this off stream and done what you just saw, I wouldn't have chosen the plane that I used tonight going that direction. I might have flown the opposite direction, but it's a learning experience. Certainly worth it. All right. Well, there you have it. I'm going to put this VOD on YouTube as well. For people that are interested in it, they can see my failures and not being able to get this plane from the second location to the third location. Also, I'm just now noticing the grass that they put here. This grass right here. Didn't even notice it until just now looking right next to it. So, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the stream so the VOD ends so I can upload that VOD as is. And then I'll be right back. Okay? Be right back.